Dangerous pie. There's a beautiful girl to my left, another to my right. Hundreds of colored balloons are tethered down behind me, baking in the July sun. I'm wearing a brown gown that's sticking to my sweat-drenched skin, trying to keep my head straight so that my weird square cap doesn't fall off in front of thousand people who are watching me. And of course, because I'm me, I'm spacing out. The questions are just tumbling through my mind. How did I get up here? What have I learned since September? How could my life possibly change so much in only 10 months? I'm not even sure I understand the questions, much less where to begin looking for the answers. I guess a good starting point would be the longest journal I've ever written in English class. This was back in September, when I was pretty sure about life. The topic was the most annoying thing in the world, and we were supposed to write the usual one-page response to it. I sat there for a few minutes staring at the back of Renee Albert, who is the hottest girl in the 8th grade, trying to concentrate. Unfortunately, all I could concentrate on was Renee Albert. Did I mention she's the hottest girl in the 8th grade? Miss Palma is always going on and on about brainstorming and lists and pre-writing, so I started to list of truly annoying things. Journal assignments, dull pencils, the pencil sharpener smell, Miss Palma's perfume. Why didn't Renee Albert ever look at me? Hot girls who never look at skinny geeks. Being a skinny geek. Being a skinny geek named Steven. Just then I realized that Miss Palma was standing behind me, reading over my shoulder. I guess that's why I was being asphyxiated by her perfume. Thinking fast, I covered up my list, turned to her, and asked, Miss Palma, can the journal be longer than a page? Sure, Stephen. Why? What are you thinking about creating here? Creating here? She actually said that. Don't English teachers just slay you? My mama is actually an English teacher, but that doesn't mean I don't find my own English teachers a bit odd. Well, I'm having trouble crafting my prose. Yeah, crafting my prose. Two can play at this game. What's your topic? Remember what I always say, FFF stands for form follows function. Don't you know? I wanted to write about a big topic, and it's not exactly a thing. It's then it hit me. The most annoying thing in my world is my little brother Jeffrey. Whoa, that's an ambitious topic. Go ahead if you need extra time. Feel free to take the project home tonight as well. Thanks a lot, Miss Palma. A lot. Anyway, here's what I wrote. Having a brother is horrible. Having any brother would be horrible, I suppose, but having my particular brother, Jeffrey, is an unrelenting nightmare. It's not because he's 8 years younger than I am, although that's part of it. How would you like to be the king of the planet for 8 glorious years and then suddenly be demoted to vice king? It's not because he's cuter than I am, though that's part of it too. I have mousy brown colicky hair, glasses that are about an inch thick, and braces that look like I tried to swallow a train wreck. He had those perfect little kid chiclet white teeth, 20/20 vision, and little blonde ringlets, like the ones on angels you see on posters in art class. It's not even because he hates me. He doesn't. The truth is, he idolizes me. And that's the problem. The kid follows me around like I'm Elvis or something. And while he's being much too cute and following me around, he's also destroying all my stuff, including my self-esteem and sanity. Take, for example, the dangerous pie incident. Jeffrey has known from an early age that the worst possible thing he can do to me is touch my drum stuff. I have some rules about this. He may not play the drums. He may not pretend the cymbals are shields and he is a knight. He may not hide in the bass drum. And pretty much any Jeffrey to drumstick contact is a massive no-no. But this one fateful afternoon last year, Jeffrey threw the rules out the window. One tragic day I came home. He said hi and said hi to Mom, glugged down some milk, headed down to the basement to practice. I was in a particularly good mood. I remember because Renee Albert had told me in PM homeroom that she liked my shirt. As this was such a grand occasion, I decided to take the special drumsticks down from their sacred perch to use them for my practice pad warm-ups. In case you don't know this, a practice pad is a thick, dense, flat piece of it's glued to a piece of wood. You practice playing the drums on it because it feels just like playing on a real drum head. Anyhow, the special sticks would be just an ordinary pair of my favorite sticks, Regal Tip 5As with nylon tips. Except that they were autographed by my all-time drum hero, Carter Buford of the Dave Matthews Band. I once saved up all my babysitting money for a couple of months, got 2 tickets to the drum clinic Carter Buford was giving an hour and a half away in Philadelphia, and begged my dad to take me for 2 weeks until he finally gave in. At the clinic, during what I like to think of as the 2 glorious minutes, Carter Buford himself called me up to the front to demonstrate a double stroke roll. After I did it, he said I had nice technique and signed my sticks right there in front of a room full of drummers. So I had spent quite a bit of blood, toil, tears, and sweat in order to get these special sticks. But these special sticks were not on their shelf. Jeffrey. I ran upstairs at top speed, hoping I would be in time, but knowing the odds were stacked against me, I burst into the kitchen and found Jeffrey doing his cooking thing on the floor. Pots and pans were everywhere. Don't ask me how I had somehow not noticed this on my way downstairs the first time. And Jeffrey was stirring some pretend concoction in the deepest pot of all with my special sticks. I advanced toward him with what must have been a disturbing gleam of violence in my eyes. Jeffrey, give me the sticks. But I'm cooking. Give me the sticks. But the dangerous pie isn't ready yet. I don't care about your stupid 4-year-old make-believe food. Give me the sticks. But this is real food. And it was Jeffrey's dangerous pie. Was a zesty blend of coffee grounds, raw eggs, and their smashed shells, Coke, uncooked bacon, and 3 Matchbox racing cars. The special sticks still smell funny. Or maybe I should tell you about the Please Kill Me Mom affair. This fiasco happened after my All-City High School Jazz Band concert last June. Getting into All-City Jazz Band is a big deal, especially for a drummer, because there are 6 trumpeters, 5 saxes, 4 trombones, etc., but only 2 drummers. It was an even bigger deal for me last year because I was the first 7th grade drummer ever admitted into the All-City High School Band. They even had to send a special band van to the middle school just to get me and this girl named Annette Watson, who was the backup piano player. She's actually really good. But there's this 12th grade guy who's been the main pianist since he was a freshman. And he's not about to get booted by a middle school girl in his senior year. She's funny, and she may be the only kid in the middle school who cares about music the way that I do. But she's also kind of weird. It's like she's figured out how to play Beethoven and Thelonious Monk Thelonious Monk, but hasn't quite mastered the art of being a girl yet. It's not easy being the youngest guy in the band, by the way. They made fun of me all the time about my age, my size, my braces, the way I stick out my tongue when I play. Also, everyone in the band has a cool nickname. When I first found this out at the rehearsal, the other drummer, Brian, was telling me what they call the different people, what they call all the different people. Who's that? That's the king. Who's he? The duke. Who's she? The princess. What do they call you? The count. What does that make me? How about the peasant? And the name stuck. Anyway, my whole family came to the concert, and it was awesome. I had this huge drum feature in this Bryan Singer song called Jump, Jive, and Wail, and I nailed the whole thing. I usually practice at least an hour a day on my practice pad and another half hour on the drum set. Plus, I play in the marching band and the jazz group at school. And we had been rehearsing twice a week for All City for a couple of months. And I used to take lessons once a week, so I was playing great that night. So after the concert, my parents and Jeffrey came to the band room. They were all excited and everything, but Jeffrey was bouncing off the ceiling. "You're a rock star, Steven." "No, I'm a jazz star, Jeffrey." "My brother's a rock star. My brother's a rock star." Just then, Renee Albert stopped right next to us to congratulate her boyfriend. We'll just call him Biff, a sophomore guitarist with alarmingly perfect complexion and muscles like Barry Bonds. Jeffrey saw Renee and started to whirl toward her. She lives around the corner from us, and I guess not even 4-year-olds are immune to her charms and wiles. It seemed to happen in slow motion. Events were just crawling. Yet still, I know I would never have time to run across town to the local zoo, steal an elephant tranquilizer gun, run back and fire into Jeffrey's buttocks before he could blurt out something that would mortify me and destroy my social status forever. Life snapped back into full motion, and Jeffrey shouted, "Hey, Renee, my brother is a rock star." As Biff looked on with a sneer, Renee replied, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." "Yup, he is. Did you see him? His arms were zooming around the drums, just like he practices at home in front of the mirror." "Steven, practice in front of a mirror?" "Yeah, it's cool. In his underwear, the blue ones, right, Steven?" I sagged against my mother's shoulder and muttered, "Please kill me, Mom." My dad tried at that point to control the situation, but by now Jeffrey had drawn a little crowd of my bandmates who were just waiting to see what else he would reveal about the peasant. "My brother's great. Hey, Renee, do you want to hear a joke? What does ICUP spell?" I give up. "Close the bathroom door. Get it?" I tried to end this torment. "Come on, Jeff. It's time to go out for ice cream with Mom and Dad." Just then, Brian chimed in. He had dropped a stick during In the Mood and may have been annoyed by the big applause after my solo. "Let him finish, peasant." To which Renee and my mom simultaneously turned to me and burst out, "They call you peasant?" Dear reader, if you're starting to see a pattern here, are you starting to see a pattern here? Miss Palma gave me an A on the journal entry. She called it droll. I guess I actually managed to get some use out of Jeffrey's antics before the chaos of this year started. Looking back at those days now, I'd have eaten the dangerous pie if I could have stopped October from coming.